tip that some of us saw or inspired and said, there's nobody who can come anywhere. If we don't come to power, we'll not come to power. We'll die with this man, but he will become president. He will become president. And when he becomes president, he will change the country. And so to you, the doomsayers out there, you're wasting your time. Because this man will change this country. This economy will turn around. No economy. Barack Obama, let me tell you. I was in America when Barack Obama became president. America was bleeding jobs. Unemployment was 6% in the United States. It took Barack Obama 7 to 8 years to turn the American economy around. George Bush will not turn the Liberian economy around in 10 months. We're talking about riots. People are protesting in France. And because our people block roads and you want to say the country is sinking, some of them lied because they closed just temporarily, and they were posting all on Facebook that we're losing businesses. The Desco is not closed. It's not closed. How can you hate your country? How can you blame evil for your society? How can you badmouth a great man, a good man, who spent about $4 million of his own fortune? How can somebody spend $4 million of their own money and preside over $500 million of that money, and you say that man will fail? What? Somebody told me one thing, he said, that's possible, it didn't make expense.
Finance Development Planning Minister and head of the government's economic management team, there, Samuel Tuer speaking. The World Bank, along with the Swedish government, has provided 3.5 million euros to the government for the extension of the Youth Opportunity Project. This extension comes at as the ministry has executed more than 51% of the project, providing jobs for many Liberian youths. Zioga Wezin is the Minister of Youth and Sports. He's been explaining more to the station.
When we went to our confirmation hearing, we made a pledge or we made a statement about the sport development tax. We had, to raise money to develop sports in Liberia. We were able, the technical team of the LRA and the Ministry of Youth and Sports, we worked on all of the modalities for that program. And then we do have the paperwork that is ready to go. The only advice we got from the LRA at the time, one of the period is that given the economic climate, it was not feasible for us to force ahead with that or to wait for the next budget year. That's the reason why that we have not embarked on that project. Now, secondly, we have sports ministry, not just for football. Many people think, oh, all the youth are supposed to play football. No, it's not just football. Right now, we have the Javier Ponte, it's a basketball team that qualify on the league. They are in Cotonou, Benin, participating representing Liberia in a competition sponsored by the government of Liberia. It's a basketball. And you know that for a long time, we've not had basketball in Liberia. When we took over, there was a problem with the federation. But they were able to intervene and resolve the problem in the basketball federation had a league. Right now, as we speak, the SKD Sports Complex, the gymnasium that is there, is on renovation. And we're hoping that early next year, that gymnasium will be finished.
Zioga Wilson is the Minister of Youth and Sports. Meanwhile, he's been given some interventions made at the Ministry for Sports Development since the inception of this government back in January.
Act of 2019, when it comes to the youth side, we'll be implementing the 5 million euro project under the French government that will benefit some 11,000 people. We'll also be recruiting 1,200 youth businesses under the hustle enterprise of the World Bank project. We'll also be recruiting 500 Liberians under the CYOP project. Under the sub-component pre-employment social support, you know that in this country, when you are 18, below 18 years, you cannot require to work. So what that component does is to provide pre-employment job readiness for the young people, 500 young people between the ages of 15 to 17. And just to let you know that some of the progress we made, when we took over in February of 2018, the YOP project was at 27%. Today it is at 51%. We met the threshold of the World Bank, and that is why the World Bank, based on the request from the government of Liberia, because we have reached our advisor threshold, they agreed to additional financing. This month, the World Bank and the Swedish government are supposed to sign an agreement for additional financing in the amount of 3.5 million euros towards the YOP project. So that tells you that we have been making progress on our front, and these are some of the things that
Youth and Sports Minister there is Yoga Wilson. Vice President Joel Howard Taylor has called for an immediate end to all forms of violence against women and girls in Liberia and beyond. Speaking on the Boys Out Day program to mark the end of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, she challenged all young men to champion the cause of protecting women in Liberia. Seattle Clark spoke on behalf of the Vice President.
I am sure of how the human race went beyond the love and beauty created in the Garden of Eden, between Adam and Eve, to where we are today in our humanity, where rape and violence has become commonplace in our lives. But something has gone terribly wrong. The word in recognition of this has lifted up this situation and has called on all humans to stop and get involved in the eradication of all forms of violence against women and girls. This behooves each of us to take a step and do something to right the wrong. And also, we repeat and say to right this wrong. As I thought about what to do as my contribution to reducing this high level of sexual and gender-based violence in our nation, my thought was to begin with the young men who become breadwinners, husbands, and fathers. And by this interaction, which begins today, start to groom the next generation of decent men who will begin to look after their sisters and daughters.
Shada Clark is the security advisor to the office of the Vice President. Meanwhile, Deputy Gender Minister Pale Harris urged men also to speak out and take actions against any forms of violence against women and girls.
When it comes to gender-based violence, don't look at my face. Say it. Say it. Say it. We want you guys to say it. Please, say it. Don't just look at faces and get it. And then the other thing we started holding men conference, male involvement. So we brought men together 2 times a month for male conference, bringing men together so they can discuss the issues. We cannot talk alone. That is why you are here. I hope that after you start talking, what are some of the things we can do for help? What are some of the things we can do for the whole issue of gender-based violence so you can help? Helping the system, helping the government, helping the schools, helping the community. When you come together and we do it together, we can do it, leaving no one behind. As the FTG say, I know you're not here, but it's a human development. They say, don't leave anybody behind. Anything that you do, don't leave anybody behind. Let everybody be going. And that's what you're here for. We want to leave nobody behind. We can't be behind us. Are you behind us? Yes. So what was it? They told you one of the speakers said that boys are going to take this with you. He said when he came up there, he said boys we have to go to play. And when he told you, he said boys we have to go to play? Okay, so you're sure that I go to play? So when the media in and they say boys we have to go to play. So what you need to do? Take action.
Pale Harris, there she is the Deputy Minister of Administration at the Ministry of Gender. The Liberia Chamber of Commerce, in collaboration with the Liberia Business Association, has launched a street sale of made in Liberia products in Monrovia. Speaking at the launch over the weekend, the president of the Liberia Chamber of Commerce, Wudel Ade, said the aim was to help reduce the economic burden on the government of Liberia.
To reduce the burden on the government per se. Too often we ask the government to do everything. Everything. Government must do this, government do this, government must do that. Alright? And we graduated from being considerate to demanding that government must do things. Alright? So we need to begin to ask ourselves, what can we do to help the government make things right? Okay? There's just too many demands in the government, and the pie is so small. Alright? And this pie being so small, part of the problem is that many Liberians, many businesses, people, Liberians, not contributing, paying taxes and so forth and all of that. So there's a need to expand the tax base. They expand the tax base, hopefully more people pay taxes. The government will have more money, right? So that we do not increase the taxes on those who have been identified and who are paying, willing to pay and are paying. Alright? So I think collectively we should all be concerned and we should all try to see how we can help the government to expand the tax base. This is what
Declaring the street sale formally launched, Commerce Minister Wilson Tapper stressed that this was the beginning of trying to showcase what Liberians can do.
This is the beginning of efforts by this government to showcase what Liberians are able to do. To tell the private sector that you have government full support. And especially for the Liberian businesses, that you have the president's support, and that is due support, but important support in ensuring that you move from the spectator bench to the playing field. And I can assure you that this government will do everything in its power to assist you to do that. This is why a few months ago when the president, even though in the midst of difficulty, put aside $1 million. I can tell you that that program is going to be launched before the Christmas by the president to give access to Liberian businesses so that they can be able to grow their businesses. One of the things we'll be talking about as a government will be the possibility of not only limiting Liberians to selling on the street, but to move you into stores, to move you into shops. And this is where a major decision has been considered that retailing at certain level for certain services will be fully restricted to Liberians. It is a policy decision that is under consideration, and we should not be surprised. I know that will come soon.
Commerce Minister Wilson Tapper. If you're just coming our way, a reminder you're watching Lntv News live, coming to you from Pinsville, outside of the nation's capital, Monrovia. My name is Edward Tamba, anchoring tonight's edition of this program. And the big stories we're following: the government of Liberia and the ECOWAS Bank for Development and Investment signed agreement for a grant of $100 million to begin the construction of the coastal highway in the southeastern part of Liberia. The World Bank, along with the Swedish government, has provided 3.5 million euros to the government for the extension of the Youth Opportunity Project. Ministry of Youth and Sports will this Wednesday begin the distribution of 4 sets of customized jerseys to each county participating in a county meet. And away from whom the European Union renewed sanctions on Monday against the ruling coalition's candidate for the presidential election in the Democratic Republic of Congo, including 13 other senior officials. We take a very short break to be right back with more developments still ahead. Ministry of Youth and Sports will this Wednesday begin the distribution of 4 sets of customized jerseys for each county participating in the county meet. According to Deputy Minister for Sports and the Kwame, they also have customized footballs that will be used for the national county sports meet.
This year we are doing it slightly different. Okay. We are bringing customized jerseys, 60 sets of customized jerseys for the 15 counties. Wow. 4 sets of jerseys per county. We are also bringing customized footballs for the county, exclusively just for the county. And the same things we see on TV when you're watching TV, you're branding the stadium, making it attractive to the spectators, all that will be introduced also.
You mean even at the county levels where they can do?
At the county level, it's difficult for us to do that because the counties are involved or they are in charge. Okay. But when it comes to Monrovia, we fully take charge, and you will see the escape. It will be fully branded with our sponsors. The host counties are in charge of security, but we will also be there to supervise. And we're making sure that the police will be informed. When we come to Monrovia, we'll also ask for assistance from the armed forces of Liberia to also help us with the many of our gates and the entrances.
Deputy Minister for Sports at the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Andy Kwame, there speaking. The President of the University of Liberia, Dr. Ophelia Weeks, says technical and vocational education remains a critical vehicle for development and should be prioritized in Liberia. According to her, the TVET helps to build the knowledge and skills of an individual and can also make people independent and marketable in society. Dr. Weeks was speaking at the 3rd graduation ceremony of the David A. Strauss College of Technical and Vocational Education of the University of Liberia in Sinjay, Grand Cape Mount County.
More relevant and responsive to its original intent, and that is to provide knowledge and skills for employment, including self-employment. TVETs use formal as well as non-formal and informal learning and are recognized as crucial vehicles for societal equity, for inclusion, and for sustainable development. These are all within the prescribed mandate of and for the University of Liberia. I sincerely hope that our request for a one-time $500,000 funding to build a laboratory building for Strauss and J College will be approved during the next budget period. Ambassador David A. Strauss Jr. made an offer, as Dean said, over 2 years ago of $500,000 if the government of Liberia would match his offer with the additional $500 that would be needed to build and equip the building. But we are now going into the 3rd year with no laboratory building, nothing.
University of Liberia President Dr. Ophelia Weeks. Well, Education Minister Professor D. Ansu Soni is calling on students to rise to the occasion and work to make the education sector better. Serving as keynote speaker at the 3rd graduation ceremony of the David A. Strauss College of Technical and Vocational Education at the University of Liberia Sinjay campus, Minister Soni called on the president of the university, Dr. Weeks, to help in reviewing the curriculum.
And the second rise to the challenge. Now, what the president say? Something that I just discussed with other colleagues from Harvard in South Africa. There are now many thoughts about revisiting the curriculum of universities to ensure that competence is enshrined in the core of the university education, so that those graduating from university are employable without doubt. What should we do about this? Now, this platform is just being set for the whole world Mr. President, now and not tomorrow. Because waiting tomorrow is to follow what the other folks have seen. And we have all seen these challenges together. There's no reason why we should therefore be lagging behind and waiting for them to follow. And then come and help us. God forbid. That has to change. And we must change our mentalities. And there are those who desire to remain in academia. They can pursue their work in Shakespeare and all that stuff. But the majority of the folks, it is determined that over 70% of those that come out of high school do not pursue college education.
Ansu Soni, Minister of Education, serving as the keynote speaker at the third graduation there in Sinje, Grand Cape Mount County today. The mother of a former employee of NASCAR, Maurice Johnson, who was allegedly murdered by a UL student, Pinky Abdul, says since the death of her son, a vacuum has been created with unwarranted hardship on the family. Speaking to Lntv News, the victim's mother, Sonny Johnson, expressed confidence in the justice system of Liberia.
And then I come to my son and I give me money. When we end really the time we're in the house here, you buy our food, do everything for us. So I'm feeling bad. When Saturday we can just sit down on our tree and be looking at the roof. The same way he used to be coming out, beating and say he come. Can't see him no more. Hey, I want to Liberia go return me for my son. Case, let me get tested for my son. Let me get tested, and just say be killing onto me and my family for my son business. Let me get tested. Testing must be done. The lawyers, the Liberian people, everyone will join me for the testing because I want to know who killed my son. I want to know the person. When I know that, everything will finish from my heart. But if the person I come to me and say that me, I'll turn a day the case being finished. But they ain't come to me, so I want justice.
Nangweslo says his county is poised to win this year's county meet. According to Representative Slaw, the support from county officials is overwhelming, and as such, his county looks set to win this year's county meet. He made a disclosure in an Lntv interview today.
County meet, our team was covered.
So what does that mean?
Good bit of money. If money is required to make us win the county meet, then we will qualify. Because our team has no.
Are you taking all the players from Sino?
All of them local. As a lawman, all of them local. Young guys. People who will score at least 3-4 goals before the other team gets up. And you hear, you will see it. I'm just from there.
Wait, I don't know when Sino qualified to come to Montserrat.
But last year they were at SKD. Where were you? And we are coming again in a green and white uniform.
Sano County Representative Nangweslo. The president of the Liberia Business Association, James Strother, says LIBA, in conjunction with the Liberia Business Association, has a target to transform at least 2,250 businesses into middle-class Liberian-owned. Take a look at that statement as he tells Lntv News.
I'm very impressed with what I see today, because the beginning of everything, you do not expect it to be more like what you anticipate. But right now, I think the second engagement will be like the survey will be all over, spread out, that people will be waiting to come over. But this is just the beginning.
So how did you get to these guys that are producing these items in the street?
Oh, the guys are in the street, they got companies that run, they got their businesses that run, they are members of our organization. Market out there, let the people see it. So what we are asking the government now is to try to help and see how we can improve their businesses.
LIBA President James Strother. Away from whom now the European Union renewed sanctions on Monday against the ruling coalition's candidate for the presidential elections in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Emmanuel Ramazani Shadari. and 13 other senior officials in that country. The decision is likely to worsen relations between the EU and President Joseph Kabila's government, which has lobbied against sanctions it calls an illegal violation of its sovereignty. Kabila has also refused to accredit EU election observers despite concerns by opposition, politicians, civil society activists, and foreign powers about the credibility of the December 23rd vote. He is due to step down next month after 18 years in power and wants Shadari as his successor. Many experts consider him the favorite given the ruling coalition institutional advantages. That brings us to the end of tonight's presentation of Lntv News Live. Before we let you go, a reminder of the big stories. We told you the government of Liberia and ECOWAS, Bank for Development and Investment, signed agreement for a grant of $100 million to begin the construction of the coastal highway in the southeastern part of Liberia. The World Bank, along with the Swedish government, has provided 3.5 million euros to the government for the extension of the Youth Opportunity Project. The Ministry of Youth and Sports will this Wednesday begin the distribution of 4 sets of customized jerseys to each county participating in the county meet. And away from home, the European Union renews sanctions on Monday against the ruling coalition's candidate for the presidential election and 13 others in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Many thanks to all of you for watching Lntv News Live. Many thanks to all of our contributors, switchers, and reporters for making this edition a success. On behalf of the entire production team here at the Liberia National Television, my name is Edward Tamba. I anchor tonight's edition of the program. Thanks for watching.
National Toiletries Incorporated. National Toiletries Incorporated, 100% Liberian-owned manufacturing company, produces high-quality toiletries right in Liberia. National Toiletries Inc.